What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 310 Reacts, episode 3. We had somebody send in our first video, which is super cool. That's really cool. It's just cool that you guys are watching it and liking the video. I've had a lot of good comments on this series. A lot of people excited about it. It's not only entertaining sometimes, but it's also educational. And today is going to be more on the educational side. So today's video is brought to you by 310 EDU. If you like content like this, you need to check out 310 EDU. We have a ton of instructional videos on 1, 2, and 3-man doctrine, Brandon, all the different shots you see me throw on social media. All that is there at 310 EDU. So check that out. Today's video was sent to us by another YouTube channel called RooBuck, Nevada. This guy doctors a lot of yearlings. In this particular video, he's doctoring a calf in like a feedlot setting by himself. So he goes in and doctors this calf, and he trips it with the guapo and gets it done. It's a bit of a longer video, so settle in, get your popcorn ready. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so to keep our video a little bit shorter, I'm going to scrub through some of the stuff. Now in this video, it's a very educational video. He does a great job here explaining to you all the different things you're going to be experiencing or that he's experiencing while he's doing it. Ooh, let's knock that. We're going to turn the audio off for this so I can talk over the video, obviously. But for you guys, go watch the video. If you're trying to learn how to one-man doctor, if you're trying to learn how to sharpen your skills, there's a lot of good stuff in this video. So basically right here, he's explaining how he sets up his tie string and prepares it on his belt. So when he gets off of his horse, he's not having to jack around with it. It's basically the exact same way I do it. I usually I double it and stick it in my leggings, where my leggings buckle together. And then I have a ring on the side of my leggings that holds the tail for me. But he does it with his belt loop, works exactly the same. So it looks like he's swinging linseed cotton, super hard rope to break in. If you can get that broke in, they'll last forever. But I've seen on his channel where he shows how he treats his cotton with linseed oil. We don't do that. Ours are waxed. He's running a speed burner on it, one of the white ones. And basically what he got called in to do here is there's a calf in here that's got foot rot. These calves are just weaned, so they're pretty high stressed already because they just got weaned off their mama. And so they sent him in here to give this calf a shot for foot rot. And he actually does something in this video that I've never done before. So we'll cover that when we get to it. I didn't ever doctor a ton in a really small bunk trap like this. Most of the traps I doctored in they had bunks, but they were like grass traps. There was quite a bit of room to move around. And then the doctoring we did in Wyoming were in huge pastures. So typically when you doctor a foot rot calf, and you kind of run it around a little bit, you get it roped and you kind of move it around, it busts that infection open and gets it draining again and all the things. That some people say that's even better for it than just the medicine. Just getting it busted open where they're not just gimping around on it will help it. But because he does such a good job of keeping this calf quiet in this video, he doesn't bust it open running the calf all over the place. He takes really good care of the herd, really good care of the calf. And so he uses his tie string to bust it open here at the end, which was interesting to me. So here we go. He's going to sneak in here and he's kind of explaining his shot. He's going to kind of throw a sneak shot on this calf. And that's really your only option, man. You can't be running these cattle around in a little bitty pen like this. So dumping it on one right here, just throwing a nice little tip over and getting the calf roped. Now I will say, you see how all the calves scatter. Okay, we just watched all the calves run off. Obviously, that's going to happen. But he does a really good job here of paying really close attention to the herd. Like, if you were to pop your dallies and just take off running after this calf, it would be a freaking train wreck. Okay, so basically what he's doing is he's just letting the calf feel the rope, kind of letting him stand against it. It's not hurting the calf. He's letting the herd get on the other side of the pen and get settled. And he's talking through all this through the video. Now he's going to get the calf tripped and doctored without getting fast in the herd. That is so key here in this small little pen. Like if you go in here and just absolutely bust through these calves, it's going to be a nightmare for the next guy who has to deal with him. Wherever they ship these cattle to, if they're trying to get them settled down, it's going to be really hard if some guy goes in here just, ramrodding everything and running all over the place. So right here, if you watch, he has slipped in between the calf and the herd. And once again, he's discussing this the whole time he's doctoring. And this is exactly what I would do. I would try to get that calf to go into that corner to set up a trip, to try to keep the calf out of the herd. And he does a great job here. So the calf runs by him, just disrespects his horse, kind of. No big deal. He just goes to the horn, and he turns and pulls him a little bit. Once again, he's just getting some respect from this calf. There's nothing wrong with this. It's exactly what I would do, because as soon as he pops his turns, if the calf takes off running, you're over there in the herd, and it's just going to be a mess. So the calf's pretty gimpy. He kind of uses this little dirt mound and just sets up his trip perfectly. I mean, it just worked out really well there. That could have gone worse for sure. And if you'll watch, this is the cool thing about doctoring cattle with a rope and not in a chute, okay? You watch what the herd does here. Because he's been quiet, because he's taking care of the calf, he gets his trip set, he's got it nice and high, he's just going to turn, and the calf's going to lay right down, slick as a whistle. Sometimes they'll do that. They'll kind of shimmy backwards, but no big deal. Now look at the herd. And this will happen if you're doctoring in a small trap or a pen, where if you can keep the herd quiet, the biggest stress relief for this calf is the herd. And so now he's got the calf on the ground, ready to get doctored, and he's still in the herd. You take that calf to a chute and you separate them from all the other calves. It takes longer for them to get back together. It's just a really cool deal. Now, right here, he's showing how he ties off to his saddle, which is cool. It's the same way we do it. Anybody who rides a wade, those saddles are built to do that job. So now he's got the calf tripped, and I'm going to kind of scrub through here because he ties the calf up, which is totally fine. Sometimes I'd tie a calf up, sometimes I wouldn't. It just totally depends on the calf. If the calf's fighting and thrashing and acting crazy, I just tied him up. So basically what he does right through here in this part of the video is he ties the calf up. Let's see if I can stop right on it. So he gets the calf tied up, and he shows you how to tie it up, and then he uses his horse to hold the calf's other back leg. So he takes his rope off of the calf's neck, which is great. He gets that other back leg, and it gets it up off of the ground, which is smart. I mean, it just keeps the calf from fighting you, and your horse can hold the calf. He's going to put two in. I forgot. Okay, so he's going to put both in, and he gets his horse to hold. If you got a real handy horse, you can do it this way. Once again, there's a million ways to skin this cat. Usually what I would do in this situation is I would tie this calf cross-legged, right? I think the reason why he doesn't do that here is because he's got to work on the calf's front foot for the foot rot. So he's going to give him the antibiotic, but he's also going to do what we were talking about earlier. So he doesn't cross time, which no harm, no foul, whatever. Everybody's got their own technique. Usually what I would do if I was doctoring a respiratory calf, and especially a foot rot calf, because they'll kind of fight you a little bit more, they're not as sick, is I would just cross tie their legs. If you cross tie their legs, like the bottom back or the top front or vice versa, they can't get up. They can kind of thrash around, but they're not going to get up and walk off. If you only handcuff them and tie their fronts, they can get up and kind of hop around. If you tie the top two or the bottom two together, they can't really get up, but they can kind of fight a little bit harder. So we usually cross tie them, but once again, everybody does it a little different. So right now he's administering his dope. He talks about it, 10 cc's per injection site. That's the way we did it as well. That way it keeps abscesses down. Just that you only want to put 10 cc's of medicine each time you stick them. And so right here, this is where we're at. He also gives some boluses, which if you don't know how to do that, he has a really good explanation of what the boluses are for and how to administer them. And then from here, he's going to go to what I was talking about. So he's going to take this lead rope here, and he's going to bust this foot rot up. You see how it's all caked up and nasty? And I've never done this before. Once again, normally it busts open when they run around, or if you're in a bigger pasture, you're kind of moving their feet quite a bit. But yeah, he just kind of knocks all that junk off of there and gets it draining again, which his explanation for that makes sense to me. So I've never done it, so I can't say whether or not that's exactly what you should do, but he explains it in the video. So go watch him, go give him a follow. Lots of his stuff is a little longer content, lots of explanations. It's a really cool YouTube channel. It's growing. I think he started a couple of years ago. We're actually going to have him on the podcast. I'm not sure when it'll actually post to YouTube, but we're actually starting a new 310 EDU YouTube channel where we're going to do the 310 Reacts will stay on our normal channel, but the Art of Suffering podcast will be on that new YouTube channel. I'll also be posting a lot more educational content on there. He's going to join me next week for the podcast, and we're going to discuss just life. I don't even know what we're going to talk about, honestly, but it's always fun visiting with people. So if you want to hear more about his story and you know how he got started in YouTube, we're going to have that on the Art of Suffering podcast at the 310 EDU YouTube channel. So go check that out. Anyway, hats off. Great video. I understand as much as anyone how difficult this job is and filming it at the same time, trying to talk through these things and teach while you're doing it. It makes it wildly more challenging. So it's cool to watch somebody who does a really nice job, who has a really nice horse, really take care of the cattle, take care of the herd. I don't even mind that it's a slower video. It was great. Great to watch. Kudos, hats off. We'll see you in the next episode.